Well, hello, welcome again to a reading through of Sophocles' Philoktetes, and I got up to the choral little interlude at 5:07, and so we've just had this very moving speech of Philoktetes where he's begged Neoptolemus and the chorus to take him with him so that he can get home. And then we have a choric interlude in place of the usual choral comment. As we saw, that was mirrored by the interlude that we had earlier. And the chorus then say now here, oiktir, it's an imperative, the epsilon's elided. So have pity, O Lord. Elexen, he has spoken of the athla, alpha elided, of the struggles, the contests, the struggles of the many labours which were difficult to bear. The dus compounded with the ois root here. Oiso is the future of Pharaoh, so it means difficult to bear labours. And then we get a wish, so may none of my friends meet with such things. Tunkana normally does take a genitive, but here we're getting it's in respect of these things, may none of my friends meet with them. So may none of my friends meet with these things. But if, O Lord, you are angry with the bitter sons of Atreus, now the men, there's no corresponding det, but it's probably something like I for my part. The participle meta tithemenos has the sense of transferring, metatithemi, to transfer. We get metathesis in modern English, the transferring the evil of these men, that is the sons of Atreus, transferring them that into a gain for this man. I would convey, understand him, wherever to the place where he desires, on the swift, well fitted out ship. And so I would convey him into his home, avoiding the nemesis of the gods, the tan nemesin of the gods, avoiding the nemesis of the gods. Just a little note here with this, you've got three genitives here. The noun is feminine, so we get a feminine this is a alpha pure, but it's a genitive ending. And it's the feminine form from the third declension adjective. But this is a two-termination adjective because it's a compound of you and stolos, and so it uses the u ending, the masculine ending, even though the noun is feminine, just in case you're wondering about the endings here. So Neoptolemus now replies. Now, in fact, in this next section, and I'm only going to do up to the point where the merchant captain appears. In this next section, the sailor that was sent off earlier, in the earlier part of the play, the sailor disguised as a merchant ship captain sent by Odysseus turns up, and he warns them that Odysseus and Diomedes are on their way from Troy to get their hands on Philoktetes. Now, this, of course, is all false, but this is part of the trick. So Neoptolemus is still, remember in the earlier bit, he was walking slowly off the stage, and then Philoktetes was begging him, and so he's clearly very reluctant, and he again maintains this sense of reluctance here. So he says, Horas sume numentis eukeres pares, hotan de pleistes tes nosus sonosia, tot uketh hutos tois logos tutois phanes. But you, just be careful, the hora, so look, so you be careful lest you are present now as someone who is perhaps easygoing, eukeres, but so the men, we've got the men and the de here, so you are, that's what you are now, but whenever, literally, you are filled with the presence of the disease. So in other words, when you come into contact with this disease, because of the terrible smell and so on, at that time, and so this is the horror, so you could hold that one actually, so look lest at that time you yourself literally no longer appear with these words. So just to do that bit again, so be careful, you be careful lest, although now you are present as someone who is easygoing, but whenever you come into contact with this disease, literally you are filled with the company of this disease, beware lest at that time you yourself no longer might appear with these words, or you might no longer display this view, something like that there. Hakester, least of all, literally, so not at all. Tut uk est hopos pot eis emo tunedos hexes endices onedisai. Now, uk est, it is not possible that ever you will have, the tut I think goes with the tunedos, this is top onedos, this reproach, justly to reproach towards me. So he says, you know, it's all very well you're saying this now, but wait till you're on board and you've got to put up with him. And the chorus says, no, not at all. It is not possible that ever you will have this reproach to me, and then epexegetic really, to reproach me justly. You have to turn it around a bit in English and paraphrase it a bit, but that's literally what it is there. Al aiskramentoi su gemen ediesteron zeno phenenai prostokyrion ponein. It's again slightly hard, this bit here, I think. Well, so it's but, however, sort of on the other hand, almost, got to understand the verb to be. It is disgraceful for me to appear or to be seen as less willing than you, in fact, it's to toil for this stranger, proston kyrion, in respect to what is opportune for him. This is fairly idiomatic here, so I'll just do that again. So, however, almost on the other hand, it is disgraceful for me to be seen as less helpful or less willing for this stranger to toil in regard to that which is opportune for him. In other words, you can paraphrase this as to assist him in his need. So it would be disgraceful for me to appear less willing to this stranger, indeed to this stranger, than you, to assist him in his need. But if it seems good, let us sail, and quickly. So literally, this is the subject here. I think tackles. Let speed go forward. This is an imperative. So in other words, make haste. This is kai hei, and the ship, for the ship will lead us, and it will not be denied. In other words, it's not going to. Well, the ship will be there, but we have to get there while we've got fair weather, is the sense of it here. For the ship will lead us, and it will not be denied. and a wish here, may the gods save, oh, so no, it's adverbial, only may the gods save us from this land, and we get te and te, and may save us there, wherever we might wish to sail. So lots of wishes here in the octative. So the octative of wish here, and then wherever we might wish after the hopoi. And then Philoktetes now is delightfully happy. O Philokteton min ama, O happiest, O most dearest day on the one hand, and most sweetest man. And sailors, and kind sailors. Pos an humin emphanes ergo genoimen hos me ethes the prosphile. So how, literally, how would I become visible to you by deed that you have placed me, or placed such friendship to me, that you have made me so kindly or friendly to you. So what he's saying is here, if only there was some deed I could do, so would that there might be some, I might become visible by some deed, so would that I could show you by a deed how you have made me your firm friend, I think, to try and capture that there. Yeomen, let us go, O boy. Now he wants to go back into the cave firstly, so this is a dual here, and it's an imperative dual from proskuneo. So let us worship the land, the ground inside, in the dwelling which is no dwelling. This is alpha privative, so in the dwelling which was no real house is no dwelling, so that you might learn also about me from what things di et zone I used to live off, and how I was eukardios, well, perhaps something like stout-hearted I was. So he wants him to realise what terrible situation he's been in. Oimoi ga ud an omasin monon thean. This is a difficult bit, and unfortunately it goes across the page. Okay, so we have to go to the next page as well, unfortunately, so I'll just do this bit as best I can. For I think that, or rather I do not think that, I've got to go over to the next page again here. I do not think that anyone apart from me, literally having taken so in other words, if he took, so let me get this lined up, if he took with his eyes, now monon is adverbial here, it's something like even a thean, even the sight, understand of these things, so to keep that in our head. So I do not think that anyone apart from me, having taken with his eyes only a thean, only a sight, understand of these things, would, that's the an from before, would have endured these things. So no one else but me, even taking one look at what I've had to put up with, would put up with them except for me. But I have learnt before by necessity stergain kaka. Now we've had sturgo before. It's the word for love or endure, to show any affection towards evil. So I have learnt by necessity to bear with, I think we could say here, to bear with kaka, terrible things. Now the chorus then say episketon. Now this is a dual imperative. So the two of you hold up, wait. Mathomen, let us learn, hortatory subjunctive. For two men, another dual again. One, on the one hand, is the naubates, is the sailor of your ship, literally the person who gets on board the ship. So the sailor of your ship, but the other is alothrus, is a foreigner. Keraton, again, is another imperative dual. The two of them. Sorry, for two men, the two of them are advancing. So this is from Choreo. It's a present dual. Yeah, for two men are advancing. The one who was a sailor of your ship and the other was a foreigner. Having learned from them, so having learned what the two of them have to say, so having learned from them, althis, it's something like afterwards, is iton, that's an imperative from ace Amy Ibo, and this is the dual. So after you've learnt from them, then the two of you can go inside. And I'm going to pause it there because we now have the entrance of the Emperos, which forms a new section of the story.